Level 2, Unit 17, starting a small business. P1. We're going to be starting a small business, an independent small business, like a cafe, a cupcake stall, even a bookkeeping consultancy. What's important is that it's an independent small business and you are going to be the owner. You need to identify how many owners you have. Are you the one owner or do you have individual partners? Do you have shareholders? You need to make sure that you write the equity split between the owners. So if it's 100% ownership, then you are the owner of 100% equity. If you have an equal partner, then it's 50-50. But do make sure you write the ownership. Next, we're going to be talking about the type of business it is. Remember, we have a cafe. Let's name the cafe Mr. Chai. What kind of products are we going to be serving in Mr. Chai's cafe? So let's say we're going to be serving the English breakfast tea, we're going to be serving Garak chai, and we're going to be serving saffron tea. So you need to identify the products you're going to be serving at your small business. In our case, it's going to be tea and coffee. We're also going to be serving a lunchtime menu and possibly some cupcakes and cookies. The next section, we need to identify our competition. We need to first, before we can identify our competition, we need to work out and identify our location of the cafe. Is our cafe, our small business, going to be in a shopping mall? Or is it going to be next to a school? Or is it going to be just on a normal road where customers can walk in? You need to identify the location for you to then work out what kind of strategy and business model you are going to have. So for our cafe, Mr. Chai, let's say we're going to have it next to a school. We now need to identify the kind of customers we need to attract, our target market. Let's define target market. Once we've identified our target market, we then work out our location. Our location is next to our school. The kind of customers that are going to come into our cafe will possibly be our parents and our teachers. Even some of the school children may come into our cafe. That is our target audience. That is our target customer. Now let's move on to our competition. Who is our competition within that local area? Remember, we're next to a school. So, do we have any other coffee shops, any other tea shops next to the school? Or do we have a shopping mall that also has tea and a cafe? Or do we even sometimes petrol stations serve tea and coffee? We need to identify all our direct competition and all our indirect competition. And lastly, we need to identify our long-term and our short-term goals and objectives. We're going to have our objectives, and then we're going to have the milestones and the goals in order to achieve those objectives. So you've got to make sure that once you've identified your target market, you can actually identify and ascertain the correct goals and milestones to achieving your objectives. And remember, there's no wrong answer. It's all, if you do it logically, in a sensible manner, in a process, then you will definitely achieve your points. You can also do this as a brainstorm spider diagram, which is you just quickly scribble down your answers on a spider diagram format to help and to support you in giving yourself a clear vision on how your business model is going to work. But remember one thing, your conclusion needs to be complete sentences in paragraph format.